안녕하세요. 저는 Sunny입니다. Hey guys, it is Sunny here. Welcome to part 6 of my playthrough of Best Served Cold. Okay. I don't know. I'm just checking my signal and stuff before I proceed. And I will make the necessary changes. Taking devices off the network if needed. Bear with me just a moment, y'all. Trying to get myself some bandwidth right now. It's not says 17 devices connected. Okay. Taking 3 devices off. Hopefully that helps, but I don't know. Alright, let's continue. Oh, my glasses. Don't think I made any new connections. Look at the ginger ale. Oh my god, it's a lot of people. 2 conversations to listen to? Okay. Let's listen to these 2 first. Elena, look like you're chewing a beat out with it. What's on your mind? You should not be taking this case home by yourself, Hugo. I know it. The constabulary knows it, and I think deep down even you know it. Nonsense, I'm more than capable, as my record can attest. I don't think you'd want anyone eyeing that record too closely, Detective. I am a proud member of the Bakobi police force, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. I've solved plenty of crimes more heinous than this, and my record includes over 15 arrests of murders and serial killers. Were many of those in Bakobi? No one is questioning your record when you were back in Belgium. Became a detective, and that promotion was not achieved by making friends or favoritism, believe me. I do, but Hugo, even your fellow officers have partners. I know you found it difficult here in Sara. Difficulty has come from many sources, not least the interference of a high-profile board meddler who thinks she still has what it takes to investigate at the highest level despite her retirement. You go too far, Detective Mertens. I am a civilian, a private investigator, and a former member of the constabulary. I deserve a little more respect. Yes, you do. I take that back. But why do you aggravate me so? You know there is no one on the force I care to work with, and the feeling is mutual. Where do I turn? Why not enlist a civilian again? Someone smart, savvy, and maybe someone a little better with people. You could focus on the deduction. You've done it before. The bartender? I noticed you were quick to swoop in and recruit my informant. But no, this one I must handle alone. I can't go begging for a civilian every time I need help, and neither should you. They don't have the same protections we do. Nonsense. It takes a strong man to admit he needs help, Hugo. A weak man flounders in silence until he sinks. I would choose to construe your words as concern rather than critique. Good, that's what I intend. Still, I must stand on my own 2 feet, and you should keep your nose out of this too, Mrs. Ernest. Enjoy your drink and leave the police work to the police. Interesting. You look smart today. Did you go home and change after work? I, obviously, can hardly come to your fancy speakeasy in my overalls covered in oil and dirt. I'd be a right scene in here. I didn't know you wore overalls. What color? White. What did you think I wore? A smart three-piece suit like you wear in the bank? I've just never seen any overalls in your apartment. I put them in the laundry and have a bath as soon as I get home. I think I'd like to see you in your pristine white overalls. Would ye, I? They don't stay clean for long. I thought you'd like me in this new shirt you got me. Bjorn, I don't care what you wear, as long as you're happy. Though a man in a uniform is always a fine thing to see. Overalls aren't a uniform. I think anything we wear to work is a uniform. You are a funny fellow. You'll make a woman a fine husband one day. I hate it when you say that. But I love teasing you. So you'll have... Hello, hey Gold. Alright, we got a lot of people to interrogate today. I don't even know who to start with. First, we just had an argument between these two. Elena was saying that Detective Douche Nugget needs to have a partner. And these two flirting back and forth. No other combos to listen to, so... Evening, Lawrence. Alright, so... Let's get him... I want to give him a 7, but I need to have, like, the highest amount to try to get him to talk a bit. We're gonna be making this drink a lot today. Okay. Retirement. Alright, we have a lot to show him. See what I told you. Okay, so he's not even gonna really, like, talking about a whole lot. Hush now, don't go spreading that around, will you? I see no need to sully the man's memory with such unflattering information. Leave him his dignity. He gave his life to the stage and died a true thespian. That is how he would want to be remembered, not as some laborer. So you knew about this? Of course I knew. Have you any idea of the Herculean effort it took to even find him there? And to make matters worse, I couldn't convince him to quit. Said he wanted security and all of that hogwash. I was more adventurous at his age. I took care to hide that shameful little factoid from the press, and I intend to keep it that way, so keep it to yourself. I will. What an odd thing to say. You know about the duplicates? Oh, is that why? I always assumed making multiple copies was just busy work for them. A rather frivolous use of our budget, too. I didn't question it. Reese always was a rather odd duck. Perhaps a bat would be a more apt comparison. What an odd thing to say. He has very odd things to say today. You're not taking this seriously, are you? Stavros is probably just getting in character. Penelope is the reason for Hercule's tragic demise, after all, and not long before she, too, meets her untimely end. Effie seemed to take it quite seriously. Well, you know how it is. Emotions run high on the stage, and people say a lot of silly things when they're cross with one another. Very passionate people, actors. I'm sure this was nothing serious. If you say so. Alright, so... I only have one more thing to ask him. Well, that I can ask him right now. The Sabotage Dagger was already out. Since the prop was already on stage... Was Reese aiming to kill Olivia? Reese? I don't know about this bartender. You really think they could have been capable of such a vile act? You tell me. You know them better than I do. Hardly. I'm not entirely sure they are even are noble. An impeccable craftsman, of course, or is it craftsperson? But a mysterious, dour creature in every other regard. I really don't like to think of my staff in such an uncharitable way, but perhaps there is something to your theory. Weird. Very strange. Very strange. Very, very strange. Look at this. Look at this. Solid theory. Revenge is a powerful motivator, and Reese would have been perfectly positioned for a plan like this. I wonder if the people they worked with knew they were up to something on the night of the performance. It would be wise to run your theory by them. Okay. Really a sharp one. Seems I made the right choice putting my faith in your powers of deduction. Sure, I don't need to tell you, this changes everything. If Olivia was the intended victim, we're looking for a very different motive. Anyone who has a strong dislike of her is now suspicious. 3 best granny in fiction. I'm afraid that's not exactly a short list. I'll keep an eye out. Looking for Miss Carmine. Whoever wanted to kill her underestimated her dumb luck, and now an innocent man is dead. That is, if we can assume Stavros was an innocent man. What a mess. All of our puzzle pieces tossed on the floor. Sorry, Elena. No, this is exactly the kind of excitement I live for, dear. You don't get a breakthrough like this very often. Learn to savor it. Oh, third best. Third best granny in fiction. Marco, I'm gonna need you to calm down. By the goddess, how the tables have turned. Stavros could have been the one to plant the weapon all along. It certainly added a touch of dramatic irony to this whole affair, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll first need some proof that Stavros was even capable of tampering with the weapon. Actors are usually happy to leave such matters to the prop master, after all. To find out exactly what was done to the weapon, and whether Stavros might have any skills we didn't yet know about. God. Okay. Thanks. I should get back to work. Thank you. I don't even know who to ask. Let's run this by Olivia. Hi, Olivia. My god, she has... Oh my god, there's so many things I have to ask her. Okay. I want to ask her what she likes, but at the same time, I don't really care at the moment. Alright, hurry up. Okay, there's a lot of things I gotta run by her. Like, literally all of this. Do you want to talk to me about y'all dating? History of Stavros and Olivia, tales all this time. Must you bore me with these very unglamorous questions? The tabloid paparazzi already pesters me at every turn. So I suppose, though, we are less than friends. We are more than mere acquaintances. Who knows, perhaps talking will make me feel better. It works for my listeners. Yes, Stavros and I became intimate as our professional careers progressed. I was absolutely enamored with him. And who wouldn't be? He was charming, erudite, and treated me like I was a goddess. I envisioned a bright future for Olivia and Stavros. All that changed when an anonymous letter was slipped under my dressing room door. At first, I believed Stavros had perhaps sent me a love letter or a poem, but the handwriting was too elegant, and when I read it, I realized what he was doing behind my back. Oh my god, is he cheating? Yep, he had been pursuing another woman during the entirety of our relationship. Naturally, I confronted him, and he made no effort to deny any of it. Can you believe that? Can you believe anyone saying Olivia Carmine is not enough woman for them? I confided in the producer that I was no longer comfortable working alongside Stavros, and that was the end of that. No, it's easy to imagine something more dramatic and grandiose as a reason for our breakup, but despite all this glamour, we're just people with eyes that wander and hearts that break. I'll try to remember that. That's very interesting. I don't even know which one to ask her. Yeah, so what's going on between you and Broman? Come on, Aaron. You really are blowing this whole thing out of proportion. Flaming Rose, my goddess. Reese just likes to fuss a lot, that's all. Doesn't really sound like they like it. That's hardly my problem, isn't it? I don't like it either, but they just can't help but blow a gasket every time I forget a prop somewhere, as if I don't have enough on my mind. The nerve, Olivia is twice most of the women in this game. I guess you could say that. She's just annoying. Like, the thing I don't like about Olivia is just that she's so high-strung, I feel like. Like, she cares more about the gossip. Well, maybe that's her mask, though. What was y'all's fight about? So every production has its tensions. Getting in and out of character takes a lot out of an actor. Not me, though. Embodying Penelope is as easy as slipping on a glove. That's weird. But you and Stavros did fight? I'll give it a rest, will you, darling? Our fight had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the man, and I resent the implication. You didn't tell me anything. You know, Reese was, fired. Pardon me, darling, it's much I love gossip. Of course you say you don't know. Dagger that killed Stavros Stone. Could it have been on purpose? He told me that Stavros and Olivia had a recent fight. Enamored. Let's do... I'm gonna ask about either this one or this one. I really don't know. Well, if Effie must have misheard. I'm sure we were simply doing some impromptu line reads or some such. Line reads? Really? I don't remember that in the script. Shoot. Sorry, must she really pull out every loose thread? Fine, yes. I suppose he may have said something along those lines. Honestly, he said rather a lot of ghastly things. He was often in a mood, and he never passed up the chance to make it someone else's problem. Usually mine. Happy now? Don't think I enjoy speaking ill of the dead. Stavros had his problems, I'm sure, but being irritable doesn't mean he deserved to die. Interesting. I feel like she must have still had feelings for this man. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, let's make you a drink, yeah? I can't make the one night stand because it's gonna be too strong. And I can't do anything else. That's a 5. He likes the mint punch. I have a lot of things to show him, so maybe the ambush? My mother always told me this drink was traditionally made different manner. Still like it though. Okay, medical training. Thought I asked him about Stavros already. I don't think he's really gonna care about any of this. Oh, thanks, Marco. I've only been on for 20 minutes. Alright, yeah, let's, ask him. I'll be a fool. You can't seriously be suggesting that. There's no way Reese could be the culprit. You don't think they probably could have planned a murder? Well, no, they certainly are smart enough for it. And if it looks like looks could kill half the cast in the opera, would have likely been dead already, not to mention me. But you think they didn't do it? Oh, you started really late. I did. Oh, I don't know. Just doesn't feel right, you know? They're so professional, level-headed, not the type of person to do something insane like commit murder. Somehow doubt that'd hold up in court. it has to be Effia who told her. Alright, so I'm a bit slow. Of course you're slow, because you're stupid. Only a complete lunatic would threaten a woman, no matter what they argued about. That is never acceptable behavior for any gentleman. If only I had been there, I would have gladly protected her myself, and none of this would have happened. It's a nice thought. Okay, let's actually ask him about these other two things. You tried to save Stavros? Tried being the operative word. I was never the best medical student. I wasn't even the best medical student that dropped out. But after Elena's death, I was so helpless, I just wanted to do something, you know? Tried to help and I almost made things worse, or the same, I guess. Killian's shoulder slumped down. He picks a splinter on the counter absent-mindedly. Reese probably did the right thing when they pulled me aside. I saw someone die up close, and I was once again of no help. Worse this time, I almost had his blood on my hands, and I'm not being metaphorical. Goddess knows I've had enough flowery language and heavy-handed symbolism from that damn opera. I just feel useless. As the son of a doctor, I should have done better, been better. But though I'm guilty, I'm bored with my own depression. Can you imagine anything worse? Not only am I miserable, but I'm bored with my own misery. And so I sit here and drink, and I look for distraction anywhere I can find it. Say, did you see Reese around? Should ask them if they prefer cats or dogs. See, I be thinking, like, that we're making progress with him, and then he says stupid stuff like that. Like... stupid. Kind of half-wit cheats on a woman like Olivia Carmine. She's too much of a woman. Too much woman for most men to handle. He was even lucky he got a chance with her. Must be the kind of greed Father Lacey is always going on about in those long sermons of his. Okay. Yeah, a lot. A lot. Oh my god, so many things. Okay. Lowest tolerance is a 3. I still don't know what kind of drinks they like. Let's try the femme fatale, even though I probably won't like it, but it's okay. Oh, I could do the, I could do the one night stand. That could work too. His absolute tolerance was a 7. Melancholy. Okay. Oh my god, there's so much to ask. You care to talk to me? About sums it up, yes. About sums it up, yes. I'm never sure what kind of topics to discuss. Thanks for not telling me anything. I don't know about you, but I can think of a few things Olivia deserved. A reality check for one thing, but your mind is jumping straight to murder, I imagine? I don't imagine he meant an award. I'm sure it was some sort of threat. If he did threaten to murder her, I'm surprised Stavros himself was the one to end up on the receiving end, unless... Unless what? That's no wild speculation for one day, don't you think? I hate men. I hate someone like Reese, bro. Guess I'll be the last thing I ask. Being a victim as a murder suspect is a little macabre for the likes of you, even in the grave, the man can't escape your accusations. That being said, I suppose I can't really argue with your reasoning, so you agree it's possible. I suppose. Stavros was certainly the sourest apple in the bunch, but he was one of the few people that properly respected my work and my time. In this industry, men like that are in short supply. It's unfortunate. Respectfully, I really couldn't care less about any of this melodrama. That's kind of rude. Of course not, that's ridiculous. Could you elaborate? No. Wow, okay. Uh. Awkward. What went wrong with the dagger? There's no harm in telling you what I told the police. Who knows? She won't be obsessed with the dagger. How it killed Stavros. The real question is, how is the dagger modified? Go on. I recognized my own handiwork immediately. The dagger was a prop that I personally fashioned with a retractable mechanism and all. Both the weight and appearance have been carefully taken into account so the actor can perform the most convincing delivery during the scene. It has to feel real so the performance feels real as well. Any amateur could have sharpened it like some common kitchen knife, but I'd have noticed that right away. No, their adjustments were more precise than that. Even a blunt knife can do a surprising amount of damage when thrust with enough force. Ordinarily, the blade on this dagger retracts fully into the hilt, but if that mechanism fails, well, I'm sure you can imagine the outcome. I built the dagger with a safety to prevent jamming, which I oil and test daily. Someone managed to sabotage it in a way that the blade only locks in place when great force is applied, which sadly I don't typically do. So whoever did it knew what they were doing. Yes, metalworking experience would be essential to tamper with the dagger in this way. Fascinating. Experience not unlike yours. I don't want to say that. Yes, well, I'm sure you can understand my hesitation in telling people this. Yeah. Alright. Reese is leaving. Hello. Yeah, I know your old favorite is not on the menu. Do need to get you a little tipsy though, not gonna lie. Alright. One night stand. Alright. Oh my god, there's so much. I already know for most of this, Lucas is gonna be like, what are you telling me this for? Yeah, I know. Let's talk about the more interesting things. That's what Reese told you. I'd take their word for it. This is their area of expertise and they're a consummate professional. You don't tell me anything. Now, don't be silly, bartender. That's absolutely preposterous. Reese is a respectable young professional. They wanted her to fly. What if the fly got them fired? Don't joke about that. Sorry. But they did get fired because of... Okay. Quite frightening. I would imagine she took measures to protect herself if Stavros was throwing around threats like that. God dang it. These characters, like, really be holding on to stuff, bro. Alright. This favor is the evening prayer, but they have more things to ask, so... Oh, Lord. Scoop. Okay. Nothing new to ask him, so that's good. Wanna talk to me about the prop? Do I know anything about that? Okay. Of course she wouldn't. The prop master is the one telling you that. I take their word for it. Nobody know better than them. Guy saying something like that doesn't always mean he intends to follow through. Not to minimize it or nothing. Threatening a woman like that is just not right. But I've seen enough lads posturing just to bolster a bruised ego. It's a whole lot of bark and no bite. Didn't you say he had a lot of anger in his heart? That I did. You think he was actually planning to hurt her? I don't know. Probably not. To be honest, I don't think he did it. Doesn't sound like any business of mine. This man here. Being ill that is a bad form, spreading. Get on somewhere, Bjorn. Useless. Useless, man. Useless. Hello, Elena. Actors and their messy lives. At least she had the self-respect to leave him, I suppose. But she let this slip to a producer is interesting, though. The world of theater is surprisingly small pond with a few very big fish in it. Word spreads fast. I wonder if that had any repercussions. I don't know. Well, I understand now why Reese was less than forthcoming about this piece of information. It does rather put a target on them, doesn't it? You think only Reese could have done it? No, love. It'd be foolish to make that assumption. Actors aren't known for their technical skills, so much is true. Olivia was certainly familiar with the prop. And who knows, any one of our suspects may have hidden skills we're not yet aware. Start digging. Alright, I need to talk to, douche detective. You're always busy. I'm trying to help you with this case, sir. Reese want to kill Olivia? It's mighty convenient, but I'll begrudgingly admit it does make sense. I sure couldn't dig up anything linking them to Stavros. Still, why Olivia? Huh? Why not Lawrence? Sure, it's a close tie, but between the two of them, surely he's the greater irritant. I think you need a vacation, detective. That's not a bad deduction, although you've just crumpled up and tossed out days of police work. So anyone confirmed to be, excuse me, at that prop table at any point before the stabbing is... There's no way. Oh, come on, keep going. You're saying the victim is a suspect now? Is this your attempt at impressing me? Because you'll have to do more than that. You have to do more than throw spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Actually, don't try harder, just leave it be. I know I'm onto something. One thing you're on is a wild goose chase, bartender. If you really can't resist digging, at least keep your wild theories to yourself and stop wasting my time. But if I figure out who did it, you're gonna be pissed. She broke up with her partner based on the word of an anonymous tip, and then she told someone as influential as a producer about it too. Does every aspect of these people's lives come straight out of a radio drama? How am I supposed to make sense of this case when none of the people involved in it make sense at all? I don't know. You're the detective. I just admitted that to you. I've had 3 interviews with this kid and they announced nothing, but you served them a couple of cocktails and they crack? This doesn't mean Reese is the culprit. What else could it possibly mean? Don't be getting a soft spot for them just because they're a paying customer. No other suspect has the skill to pull off that kind of sabotage. That we know of. Alright, well, I'll get back to work. Let's try the stack machine. Something's telling me to check it like every single night. I wonder who, Good, exciting times to be at the archives for receiving a new shipment of international newspapers. Well, excited by my standards, I suppose. Thanks for asking. Girl, you got any information about, Reese? One Alliance. Okay. Any more about Stavros? What I miss? Well, we learned that Reese noticed that the prop itself. Well, we learned a couple things. Reese learned that the prop, one of the props was modified so that instead of it being like a dull blade, obviously, that wouldn't hurt anybody. Somebody sharpened the blade just enough so that with enough force it would hurt somebody when the prop was used. So he's still a suspect for now. And then the other thing that we learned is that Olivia broke up with the reason why she broke up with Stavros is because their relationship seemed to be going well, but she didn't realize that there was an anonymous tip that was given to her, and that person, whoever it was, they slid a note under her dressing room door to let her know that Stavros was cheating on her. And of course she confronted Bro Man about it, and he didn't deny them breaking up, so yeah. This should probably go here. Nope. Okay. Well, we're gonna just look around. But yeah, so it's unfortunate though, to be honest. My hands are a little slippery because I took a shower before the stream. Okay, what is this? Blacklisted. Stavros was blacklisted after Olivia shared the truth of his unfaithfulness, bringing his once promising career to a premature end. Stavros knew that Olivia had been responsible. It may have been a motive for murder. Did someone tell him? Oh, that's a good point. Someone would have to have told him. I feel like someone would have had to have told him in order for him to be that upset to Olivia. With Olivia. I just don't know. Our suspects right now, I think, are Reese. Wait, is Olivia dead? You ask that every time. You ask that every time, girl. No, she's alive. Someone's trying to frame Olivia. Because she was the one who used the prop. And she happened to have taken it home the night before the murder. Okay. Let's take the anonymous tip off. The blacklisted one up there. Alright. Dagger. Prop fiend? Yeah, okay. Olivia's sabotage. Olivia had been known to carelessly bring theater props home with her. Did she smuggle a prop dagger home with her so she could sabotage it? I hate that she's a suspect. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't think I personally don't think Olivia did it. She already ruined Stavros's career by telling the producer about how she didn't want to work with him anymore. So I don't think that would prompt her to murder him. I think the vampire boy did it. That's what Gold says. I don't know if he did it either. I'm actually starting to suspect that it was Stavros. I feel like Stavros... It might be Reese who did it, but I'm actually really starting to suspect that it was Stavros. I feel like Stavros was the one who had to have thought it was her, or did something wrong. Okay, Toolsmith. Stavros was an experienced metalworker and was very familiar with the stage prop. If Bjorn is right, Stavros certainly could have sabotaged the dagger if he wanted to. I just think that the items would have gotten mixed up. And that's why I was like, I find it really strange that it ended up the only two people out of the whole crew who knew about The only two people who knew about how to do metalworking anyway, in that regard, were Reese and Stavros. So to me, I'm just kind of like, it would make sense for to me it would make sense for Stavros to try to actually hurt Olivia. Like that's a clear motive. But I'm worried because that doesn't sound right either. Well, any of them have motive right now. Reese has motive because Olivia is very hard to work with. Like, she doesn't listen properly. Like, she was taking the props home, despite Reese asking her not to do that. But also doesn't help the fact that, Reese is the type of person who likes drama, like the dark thriller fiction type stories. So I'm just concerned that if he's the murderer, that he would be the one to have done it, you know? I do need to clear a lot of this off. So... Oh. Well, I wanted to clear the board. I didn't want to do that. Hey. What if Reese was the one that slipped the note? That's the thing, though, is that Reese wasn't working. Okay, so the note was slipped to Olivia years ago when she, Stavros, and Sullivan all worked on Sullivan's very first play. His very first play, which I can't ever remember the name of it for some reason. Let me clear the board. Was the very first play. And for me, that's kind of the only person who I would think would be the one who would know about it. Because it said he was seeing another woman. That's what the letter said. The anonymous tip. I think the person who did it is Effia. And the reason why I think that, because we don't have any clues right now, but I think she did it because she would have been pissed at, what's his name? Stavros for cheating on her. I slipped a note. I wanted Olivia to notice Mako's affection for her. You read me, bro. I did it for you. That's crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these clues in order, because usually I'm a bit more organized, but it's got me all over the place. Okay, so the first portion is the murder itself. Oh, well, I guess I'll try to keep it on the board. Gail de Winter. Mako's like, Nani? Gail de Winter is the person who wrote the play. Stavros is the one who passed. But in terms of this play, Lawrence was the one who called back sorry, called back Stavros. And Stavros and Olivia used to date. I need to find that other clue. However, they had a fight before the play, and she didn't get along. No, they also dated. So we got a lot of tension. And then she also was butting heads with Reese, which is what ended up getting Reese fired. And also with them breaking up, he ended up getting blacklisted. Where's the blacklisted? There we go. So we ended up getting him blacklisted. We know that the tool itself was sabotaged. Well, we also know that they broke up because of an anonymous tip. It was under the door. But Broman also threatened Olivia and said that she would get what she deserved. Sorry, I was reading the clue. Time and place. Stab Stavros during the second act of Dalliance. Okay, that definitely has to connect to something, I would think. Blacklisted. He left a lot of verbal evidence in his wake. He absolutely did. Okay, so anyways, Olivia had the prop. But we also saw that Stavros went into the prop table before the play. We didn't see it, but we've been told this. Kill Stavros. So our main suspects, if I can get this shit on here. Our suspects are Olivia, Broman, and Stavros himself. But we also don't know if she's being framed, and there's really not enough room for everything, so I'm just gonna start putting stuff up here. So I kind of am back at the same point I was at before. Well, I'll clear it up. I'll clear it up in a minute. Honestly, this is the part that I like the least, because I have to, like, organize everything, and there's not enough room to me on the board, so... Okay. Let's start connecting some dots. This one, connect to here. Okay, good. This one, connect to here, and then connect to here. Okay. This one. Connect to here. Connect to here. Okay. Just gotta double check and make sure there's nothing to connect these two. And his threat, probably? Yep. Self-defense. Olivia's taken prop daggers home with her before, because she had modified it to use in self-defense when facing Stavros, hurting him before he could hurt her. Interesting perspective. This needs to be moved down because I can't even. God. Okay. It's just stupid because once you like move it and stuff, it just doesn't. Yeah, it's weird. It's like it gets stuck sometimes. I had a feeling that it would connect to her being threatened. I don't know, but what do y'all think so far? Who do y'all think did it? Was it Olivia? Was it Stavros? Was it potentially another person? Was it Reese? Or is Gold dubbed him Vampire Boy? Which to me is like very insulting. Reese has motive. Oh, I found one. Suicide by proxy. Stavros Did Davros sabotage the prop dagger, intending for Olivia to take her own life in the opera's opening number? Olivia's careless use of a backup prop saved her life and sealed Davros' fate, dying by his own weapon. Michael says Reese has motive. Gold says, I think she got threatened and is being framed. And then she replied to Michael's comment, but so does her ex-boyfriend. I know, that's what I was like, that's what makes all of this so challenging, because you just don't know. Luckily, we're only on day 7 out of 16. And I'll connect the other ones in a minute. This just takes a very long time. What if they were in it together? What do you mean? My question is, whoever it was, if it was a setup, how would the daggers have, besides them being identical, how would the person who modified the prop not get mixed up themselves with the prop, like with the modified one, compared to the other two? Because there were 3 freaking daggers. Both Reese and Stavros both had something against Olivia. But see, my thing is, right, if they did, why did they not talk about it? That's the part that's bugging me. Like, you would think that they would. I gotta connect all these freaking things together. I know the board looks a mess. But once we start getting some more answers is when this stuff will get cleared up. Self-defense. Oh, this is probably gonna connect with that one? No? Okay. She also did take the prop home. So, I don't know. They did have a fight. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of grasping at straws right now. Should have all the red lines across the board. I know, but it's just hard to remember for me. Like, which ones connect. Or which one's connected to which to create new clues. Because they're all kind of relevant. Clearly something isn't adding up. Because I get the motives, right? Olivia, if she would have taken Stavros out for self-defense, I guess. And this is bothering me, y'all. This is bothering me so much. Like, you have no idea. This is bothering me. Okay. Alright, Stavros. Is this gonna go under the threat? Maybe? No? Okay. Self-defense. It's on the prop table. Smith. They did have a fight too. By a thread. Also, I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss connecting anything, because I feel like that's where my second investigation kind of went wrong. It was like, I don't think I was thorough enough, especially with asking questions to people. But I will go ahead and clear the board and start again. So honestly, this is the longest part, is just connecting things. I just wish it would show the connections. If there was one critique I had about this game, I just wish it would, like, show the connections. besides when you connect clues together. Like, I wish it would just stay connected. Okay. Let's clear the board again. Alright, so we got the murder itself. The victim was Stavros. Stavros dated Olivia. He was seen at the prop table. Olivia was butting heads with Roman. Lawrence called back Stavros because they were butting heads that caused Reese to get fired. There's also a fight between them, which is what ended up getting, which he did threaten Olivia. And then they broke up because of an anonymous tip. Blacklisted, there we go. Come on. Where's the other one about Blacklist? There we go. Okay. Kind of. Some people think it might be Olivia, but then Broman also has motive, and because he got fired, Reese also has motive. I'll move this over some more. Table, they had a fight. She did threaten her. She could have led to self-defense. F you. So finicky sometimes. Okay. Jesus. Could have been self-defense, but we don't know yet. What does this one say? What is this one? Okay, this would be motive. It's just hard. She also took it home. Instead. Yeah, we don't know. Don't know if Olivia was the intended victim or not. Put that up here. She also took it home too, which is super weird to me. I'm still not okay with that. There we go. Alright, I think that's it. Sorry, I know that takes forever, y'all. I don't like it either. I don't like it either, to be honest. Like, it literally takes like 15 minutes. Okay. Resume. Next day. Oh my god, we got a lot of people today. I need to question her. For real. Also, nothing to, talk about? Interesting. So we got Lawrence, we have Olivia, Bjorn, which I definitely need to talk to him. Let's talk to Elena first. Elena's always useful. Alright, Elena. I got like 4 more clues. 5. Olivia's word destroyed Cyrus's career, of course. All she actually did was tell a producer about his unfaithfulness. He's the one who behaved like a pig in the first place. I don't imagine that would have mattered to him. That is, if he knew about this. Would he have known? Whoever told him must have been privy to the kind of discussions you get in the highest circles of the entertainment industry. That's why I feel like it might have been Lawrence who told him. You believe Miss Carmine sabotaged the dagger at home? I have my doubts. I imagine the prop master would share them, but I've made the fatal mistake of underestimating a suspect once before. I'll not make it again. Let's see where this leads. What would have driven her to arm herself like this? Why would she want to harm Stavros now? And that's what I'm saying, right? Sure, the threat might be a reason, but it's kind of weird to me that she would just go as far as to be like, okay, well, I'll take him out, and if I do it, it'll be on stage. We weren't piecing it together, of course. It doesn't mean anything without proof that he actually planted the weapon. Yeah, I agree. So I was like, that don't make no sense either. So Stavros' own words may come back to bite him. It's certainly a coherent theory, but let's not get too hasty. Your theory hinges on the idea that Olivia was capable of tampering with that dagger. We may want to get an expert opinion on that. So, Bjorn, gotcha. Goodness, plot thickens. If Stavros was indeed the one that planted the weapon, that means a would-be murderer became the victim of his own scheme, harming nobody but himself. It probably did traumatize a few people. Sure, but no innocent person died. Although I do realize I may be the first to ever call Miss Carmine innocent, which does raise the question, why did he want to harm her? I'm sure they had history together. We just need to find a motive. Aye. I don't want to end the conversation yet. I just want to double check. Okay, yeah. I don't have anything else to ask her right now. Yeah. In the conversation right now. Let's talk to Bjorn. I feel like he'll be the easiest. It'll be easiest to get his opinion. Also, let's get him a little tipsy. Alright. Yeah, give it a go. His favorite is the evening prayer, but I don't want to give him that. We have a lot of clues to go through. Alright. No new questions. So let's just go straight to the evidence. No, wrong. Considering the work he did, a simple mechanism like that would have been easy for Stavros to alter. I'm not sure if I feel too good with what you're implying, though. I mean, I don't know what more you want me to tell you, for real. Don't take my word for it, but you may be underestimating the technical know-how that'd go into tinkering with a gadget like that. Dang it, Bjorn. Saying Stavros planned to kill someone? It's a disturbing thought. I could tell there was a darkness to him, but I never would have guessed he'd be capable of that. Hope you're sure of this theory of yours, bartender. It's no good to speak ill of the dead. I'm so tired of people telling me that. It's quite the tale, like something out of soap operas on the wireless. Don't know what you're expecting me to say, though. You saw him at work. Do you think he may have known? You're expecting me to tell you whether a man could have planned a murder based on what? Whether he was in a bad mood at work or not? Let's see. Well, yes, but he was always a bit sour. I suppose he did look rather tense as of late. But who wouldn't be, following up our work with long nights of rehearsals? Afraid that's all I've got for you. Thanks anyway. Ah! my word for it. Were you man under arrest? Okay. Early shift tomorrow. Thanks, Bjorn. You gave me everything I could get from you right now. Hello, Lawrence. Gotta get you drunk a bit. Alright. Everyone's getting the one night stand today. That sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. Very wrong. Okay. Yo, I've been watching a show called 911 Nashville. I was a huge fan of the 911 shows, but like now I don't think I am as much anymore. Hey, you know about this anonymous tip? Anonymous letter. Why are we, the people of the stage, always so whimsical and dramatic about everything in our lives? Always wonder how Olivia knew. Did you? I know the man's eye was given to wander from time to time, sure. Can you blame him, really? A handsome, red-blooded young buck surrounded by beautiful starlets with angelic voices on stage every night? I understand completely, or of course I can blame him. We need to get on his good side, so I thought you would. We all have our faults, after all. Better a skirt chaser than a gambler or a drunkard, I think. What an odd thing to say. I think I've been saying that about everything that Lawrence has been saying. It's so weird. Every single time. Alright. Do you know anything about... What about this blacklisting? Because you're the probably reason. Stavros blacklisted from the industry? Yes. Situation is well known among my colleagues. Why do you ask? Did he know it was Olivia who was responsible for the blacklisting? I thought he did. But as I was talking to him while casting Dalliance, it became clear he wasn't certain who was to blame. After 10 long years, one would assume any misplaced grudge would have burned cool long ago. I can't imagine he cares after all this time. You told him? Of course. Imagine being kept in the dark for all that time. Best we get all grievances out in the open so we can focus on what really matters. Dalliance. Why would anyone care about such petty rivalries when our magnum opus is so close at hand? Anyways, it is good that he knew the truth before he passed on. I think things are better aired out instead of being left to fester. I don't believe in secrets. I don't like the fact that you fucking told him. Like, you're the reason why... I don't know, y'all. This is weird. This is weird. Alright, let's talk about... Let's talk about what he literally just said. Don't like the fact he's so cheerful. Now, don't go pinning this on me, bartender. Stavros was as resentful as you were implying. I'm sure some argument or another would have been the straw to break the camel's back. I don't think that's how... Never mind. Alright, do you think that he was a toolsmith? So now, you're not trusting the judgment of some grubby factory worker of Stavros' character, are you? But Stavros is a factory worker. But that was only a temporary setback in the man's life. I'm sure this Bjorn is merely trying to slander his good name out of envy. Stavros was on the rise once more. I don't know about that. Goddess, I don't know what this is. What am I, an oracle? Okay, so he was mostly useless. Let's talk to him. He's never really useful anyway. But gotta get him talking. Gotta get him talking. Alright. Bring my boy Peter. I bet you he can tell everything. Girl, I have no idea. Did you know about the blacklisting thing? Not blaming Miss Carmine, are you? Sounds to me like Stavros got exactly what was coming to him. There's no place in the opera world for a swine like him. He probably didn't see it that way. No, I don't imagine he did. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you whether he was aware of Olivia's role in his downfall or not. Try the people he worked with. Thanks for the tip. Certainly a poetic thing to do, returning to one's roots, as it were. At his age, it's only normal for a man to stop looking forward and to begin reflecting on the past instead. Do question the wisdom of hinging the swan song of his career on an actor like Stavros Stone, and I question the importance of bringing back a random stagehand as well, but Lawrence has always been an unusual man. I won't argue with that. There was a fight backstage. Well, if you ask me, Miss Carmine was a saint for putting up with a common bore like that for the sake of her art. Whatever it was about, I'm sure she was in the right. These responses are weird, I'm not gonna lie. He threatened her. That swine, that hoodlum, how dare he? I'm glad he met his end before he had a chance to act on such a vile threat. I was very lucky for her. See where you're going with this. Leave Miss Carmine alone. Hasn't she gone through enough? I don't give a did you hear about the anonymous tip? I do so despise gossip. When she told me things like this. You're not considering Miss Carmine a murder suspect because of Stone's infidelity, are you? The man was a swine, clearly, but by your own admittance, this was 10 years ago. What was Olivia telling a producer? What about Olivia telling a producer? I suppose it could have some nasty repercussions for Stone's reputation in the industry. Once a cat like that is out of the bag, you'll find it hard to stuff it back in. Interesting. It's not really interesting. So he's definitely on Olivia's side. What about what Romance said? Oh, Lawrence, what a foolish mistake. The man comes from a truly great lineage, I'll give him that. But even an apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It can still end up rolling downhill, it seems. What was he thinking bringing that up? I don't imagine there was much thinking involved. It's getting late. Alright. I want to question her so bad. Let's question her. Nice and cozy. I really think it was her, bro. I think she was the one who put the note under the door. Pretty much everyone's gonna get the royal flush, I think. I mean, I could do the femme fatale as well, but I need to get her a little bit more intoxicated. Girl, hush. Okay, I have a lot to talk about. Yes, that's what I said. I hate that her responses a lot of the time are, yeah, that's what I said. And, like, she doesn't say anything else. Alright. Do you know anything about potentially Reese taking it on Olivia? No, that's ridiculous. Alright. She really has, like, short, simple... Oh, the anonymous tip. Let's see her response. Why are you telling me this? Not only aired out a dead man's dirty laundry, you also breached Olivia's confidence. Would it kill you to show a little discretion? I'm trying to find out what someone would want to kill Stavros. I want to understand what Stavros was like. That doesn't give you the right to go digging like this, bartender. But it'll get you to stop, I'll give you my opinion. Deal. The man was clearly a pig, and Olivia was wise to cut him loose. Whatever came of her words of anything, he probably deserved it. Strong words. What an odd thing to say. That's such a strong reaction. Oops. That's such a strong reaction to the thing. That was rather ill-advised of him, wasn't it? If Lawrence was even half as good at managing his people as he was at his craft, all this would have gone very differently. Probably. I only have 2 more things that I can ask her about. I feel like she's just gonna be like, yeah, that's what I said. Olivia was a real target? That's concerning. Do you think it's possible? If what you say is true, then it must be. I don't see why my opinion matters. Do I believe someone wanted to kill her? Sure. She was certainly a more famous figure than Stavros. More infamous, too. On a woman as high profile as Olivia Carmine without consequence. Sounds to me like the only one responsible for Stavros Stone's fall from... Didn't really speak to me at all, actually. My gut is telling me it's her. I don't know why, but my gut is like, yeah, it's definitely Effia, because I feel like she had to be the other person. It's the only thing that makes sense. Who would tip off Olivia that Stavros was seeing somebody outside of the other woman? I don't really want to ask her about the show. I told you I did. Girl, hush. Are you okay? Yes, of course it was upsetting, but I've been through a lot. I get to where I am in life without seeing a drop of blood spilled here or there. As long as you're okay. Okay, no, darling, not at all, man. I saw a man stabbed on stage, ending my career. But she smells. Or armor like that all her life. Sometimes we see things we think are beyond what we can bear. We think there's a limit to the horrors we can endure. But darling, if life has taught me one thing, it's this: we endure. I don't want to think about what happened to Stavros. I've not yet begun to accept this loss. But accept it I shall. In time I will move on. I will endure. But until then, let me drink and dance and share time with friends and friendly strangers. Tears can wait. They're going nowhere, and neither am I. See, and it wasn't her. Ridiculous flim-flam about Reese trying to kill me. It's just a theory. Yes, someone I'll gladly debunk right here now. While Reese and I have our differences, we are not amateurs. Word travels fast in the world of theater, and the moment I learned that Lawrence decided to let Reese go, I immediately reached out to them and offered to talk to Lawrence on their behalf. I have my pride, but I'm not blind to the merit of those I work with. Reese is an exceptionally talented individual, and Lawrence's decision was, in my eyes, the wrong one. Reese was, as always, professional and detached. They already had job offers in waiting, and they had already decided to leave Lawrence's production. We buried the hatchet and vowed to part as colleagues, each wishing the other well. Anyone suggesting Reese is involved in all this will have me to answer to. I suggest you consider this line of reasoning to be a dead end and move on to more plausible theories. Thanks, Olivia. Okay, so he's been exonerated. I do want to talk about this here. It was me. I didn't mean for that to happen. I merely didn't want to work with him again. Not soon after, anyway. I could barely stomach looking at him in the eye after what he did. Performing romantic duets as if nothing had changed between us would be unbearable. I was a girl in love, but then every time I saw his face, I felt nothing but anger and humiliation. I simply couldn't stomach it, so I told my producer, hoping that would be the end of it. I had no idea it had gone so far. Do you think he knew it was you? I couldn't say. He was always in a mood, of course. We had our fights, but it was what I expected. It's a bit sad. Alright, I do want to let you know that Lawrence told him, that old fool. No wonder Stavros was so quarrelsome right from the start. And here I thought it's because of our history. I suppose it's not important now, is it? Even after the horrible things he said and did, the fact remains that the dagger took his life, not mine. So he must not have acted on this motive, but I'm sure it must have made his final moments all the more unpleasant. Okay, so anonymous tip. Peter planted the knife. We haven't even seen Peter. Peter hasn't shown up at all this case so far. Do you think he accidentally, offed himself? You really believe Stavros wanted to kill me? Wouldn't that be an interesting twist to this tragic tale? Olivia maintains her usual smile with practiced ease, but the sudden paleness of her face makes it strangely hollow. For the first time since her return to the nightcap, she looks tired. Yes, after all the tears I shed, trying to scrub his blood from underneath my fingernails, it would certainly be ironic, wouldn't it? A bitter end for a bitter man. Wish I could tell you whether this makes me feel better or worse about what happened. I don't even know anymore. I suppose I just feel relieved. Okay, and she's gonna leave now. Interesting. Bartender, detective. Hey, there you go. One of your theories, I thought I told you to leave it. Just tell me what you think! Killing someone on stage for a career ruined 10 years ago, even if we disregarded the fact that it's a ridiculous crime, and considering the people involved, I suppose we can. 10 years is a long time to wait for revenge, unless you're implying he only found out recently who would have told him. Not sure yet. If I were you, I'd spare myself the headache and leave it alone. Well... Trust me, bartender, as much as I would gladly believe this is all somehow the fault of a pompous director, I just don't see it. How could Stavros have possibly set this all up? I'm working on it. Dang, just doubtful of everything. Come on now, you're grasping at straws. I highly doubt anyone but the actual prop master would have had the know-how to tamper with a murder weapon. I'm not so sure. Believe me, I went through her extensive list of contacts as part of my investigation. I didn't exactly encounter a lot of metalsmiths there. None, actually. Unless the woman had an unusual hobby, it seems unlikely to me. Shouldn't you be the last person to rule out an unusual hobby? Point taken. Olivia's my prime suspect as well. She literally stabbed the fellow. But her sabotaging a stage prop? I don't see it. It was her prop. She could have brought out any old knife instead. Wouldn't that have tipped Stavros off? Then she couldn't claim it was an accident. You're more clever than you look, aren't you? Thanks? Weirdo? What? So Stavros? He meant for Olivia too? But then... The detective's eyes go wide with excitement as his hand slips into his coat pocket, eagerly fishing for his notebook until he catches himself. That's a ridiculous, harebrained theory, bartender. I can't believe you almost had me. But it checks out. It's not only a completely insane plot right out of a crime novella, but it's a baseless accusation hurled at a murder victim. What motive could he possibly have had? Look, we have enough history for me to let you off with a warning for this. Let it go, and let me do my job. I hate this man. Of course, it's nothing but bickering and infighting between theater people, but now a strong theory finally presents itself. They're closing ranks. They respect each other even if they didn't always show it. You're not trying to imply anything, are you? You're still on the bench. It's worth a shot. Out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face. Alright, last two. Lawrence, you old fool. How could he have been so short-sighted? This could have been a powerful motive for Stavros to harm Olivia. Considering you've already established that Stavros is a suspect and that Olivia may have been the intended victim, it's starting to look very damning for him. We just need to prove he would have been capable of setting this plot in motion. My God, I don't know what more clues I need. That's certainly unexpected. I didn't think Olivia had it in her. Perhaps she's not quite as frivolous and shallow as she leads people to believe. It's one more theory we can put to rest. Good work. Okay. Yes, we're done. Let's go to the stack machine. I don't really know what I want that could potentially be new. Personal life. Born. Blah blah. Baritone voice. Blah blah. That's a name. Crossing. Golly. Slater. House. Still investigating. Alright, I don't think there's anything new. It's quite unfortunate because I feel like I just come to like a dead end when it comes down to the stack machine. Alright. Done for the day. Alright, now to this frickin' board. Lord have mercy. Alright. We have a few things. Hey, well, we got Stavros' motive at least. Alright. Can we connect it to the butting heads though? I think that tried to connect to the one above it. Feelings. Alright, so we can kind of take things off as soon as I'm done connecting stuff. Luckily, we could take off every single thing regarding Reese. Because now we know that all of Reese's stuff has absolutely nothing to do with the situation. It's just a set of unfortunate events that occurred. Also, the fact that he's been exonerated is a huge weight off my shoulders, because I was literally like, I don't know if Reese is the one who did it or if it's somebody else. I think I ended up getting like 2 new clues, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna put this up, we're gonna put this up, we're gonna put that up, and this. And this. Okay. So, that still leaves things down to it being Olivia or being they had a fight backstage. God. Okay. To him threatening her. Now we know that dumb behind Lawrence was the one who told. Should have been his motive. Okay. So glad I got a lot of this stuff cleared up. Okay. Whew. Alright, let's connect the motive now. I just still can't believe that Lawrence told him. Like, how dumb do you have to be? I don't know. Do y'all think it was an accident now? I don't know what I think anymore. The blacklisted, I think, would be more than sufficient. Yeah, we still need to... I don't know if the identity of the person who wrote the play, if that matters. Mm. Like I say, I'm really glad that the clues are starting to... We're starting to get a hang of things now. Alright. Save the game. Oh crap, baskets. We're not doing that. Sorry, I just checked the thingamabobber. I just happened to look over the internet. Hold on. Because I refuse to end the stream. We're only like an hour and a half in. Ugh. Okay. I really hope it doesn't drop. We're actually making a lot of progress. Okay. I'll continue, but hopefully it doesn't drop. I really want to get the murder resolved today. Alright. I'm thinking, Reese is probably going to exonerate Olivia. It's just a hunch. So I feel like if Olivia exonerated him, then Reese would probably do the same. Maybe always loved the opera. Which new position did you interview for? I'm not interested in any of that, not gonna lie. If his life was spared by the grace of our own perpetual negligence, these things truly are sent to try us. Please ensure she never finds out about this. It would only encourage her. Do you believe she could have been the intended victim? With relative ease, I must admit, the list of people she's irritated or offended over the years probably rivals the length of that infernal screenplay. So I'll have my work cut out for me. Okay. Did you know he was blacklisted? Endless drama between these people neither surprises me nor interests me. Must have some insights. Why would I? Barely knew Stavros. If you ask me, this is just what happens when you treat your workplace like a dating pool. I don't get myself into such predicaments. You don't date co-workers? I don't date. Okay. Straightforward. Self-defense? Question mark? No. That's it? What more do you want me to say? I answered your question. No, I don't think she could have done it. Fair enough. Does sound plausible. Handling the material daily for several years will likely result in skills comparable to mine. God. About her being the killer. Via took the dagger home to sabotage it? That's a very imaginative story. Perhaps the dagger obtained self-awareness and flew away. That seems just as likely. You don't think it's possible? Not the president of Olivia's fan club, but I do not consider her capable of such a macabre act. Cold-blooded murder on the stage in front of hundreds is beyond her. So my answer to this is no. No, I don't think she sabotaged the blade. As well as lacking the temperament for such an act, she lacks the skills too. While I may not have always enjoyed working with her, these sorts of accusations are ones I'd gladly testify against. Not just for her sake, but also to protect the craft of prop masters around the world. I refuse to let the public believe any spoiled diva could recreate our trade. I understand. Reese could be clear. He's pretty straightforward. I agree. That's what I was hoping for, would be that he would exonerate her. Yeah. Reese, calm down, buddy. Also, what did you say, Gold, before that? Guess, what if it was Lawrence? He hasn't been a suspect so far, weirdly enough. Like, it's super weird to me. Alright, girl. We have a lot of things to discuss, truly. I have so many things to talk to her about. Oops. I have so many things to talk to her about. For real. Oops. Yeah, that's what I pressed, was L2. This game's weird, I'm not gonna lie. Do you know... It's a real mystery, alright. Tell me you're not one of those, are you? One of those? People who believe it's all about the script, as if talent isn't what people really come to see. When I drive downtown, the people will turn and look, darling, no matter what vehicle I'm in or who is behind the wheel. That's star power. Surely both are important? If you say so. Suppose the winter is quite good. Lawrence seems to think so anyway. He can't stop going on about them every chance he gets. Thanks for the warning. Okay. How many do I have left? 4. Okay. 4 things. It's crossing. We already talked about... What? Tell me this isn't your idea of a joke, bartender, because I don't find it very funny at all. I'm afraid it isn't. Awful, are you really certain? Why would anyone have wanted to harm me? Me? Never done anything wrong. Suppose there's Carl Malmsteen, the opinion columnist of that rag Theater Quarterly, and Irina Cornell, but she only has herself to blame for messing up about the little paparazzo, not for me to bring up about the show. How was I to know her husband... Oh, I guess her husband was cheating on her. I was really looking out for me, and it's any wonder for her since she was burned at the martyr too. She must know what I'm going through. Us girls have to look out for one another. Oops. I accidentally skipped something, but it's alright. I don't think it was important anyway. She was just boosting her head up. You believe Stavros may have been suspect in his own murder? Isn't that a little far-fetched? The culprit wanted to harm you, not Stavros. His death was an accident, the weapon being planted wasn't. Suppose so, but this is still Stavros we're talking about. Was he even capable of such a thing? Physically, I mean. Sure, the man has talents. He's at least passable co-star, but I can't imagine prop making was one of them. People are so freaking weird. Yeah, so what about that anonymous tip? Suppose that more or less sums it up. You're not angling for more details, are you? I've already told you everything I'm willing to share. Stavros our saboteur, don't make me laugh. You don't think he could have done it? No, I'm not saying that. I'm sure we've all picked up some new skills in the past 10 years, but if it was Stavros' doing, he either planned a ridiculously elaborate suicide or the real culprit played him like a fiddle. Are you sure those are the only options? We'll see what other scenario there could be. Possibly be. It's not like Stavros himself is a suspect, but what are you asking me for anyway? Aren't you chummy with that detective that's always loitering around here? I don't really know anymore. Oh, I should head back home. Alright, girl. Well, this is the only new thing I have. Suppose that was to be expected. Not every theory will pan out. What matters most is we follow the evidence rather than our preconceptions. Even in Olivia's case, those preconceptions we're very much on the mark. Sure, Miss Carmine would be relieved to hear she's off my list of suspects, but let's be kind and keep the reason why between us, that's it. Let's talk to him. What do you want? I'm very busy. You're always busy, Hugo. Figured as much. Hell, I figured as much before I started. Yeah, I wasted my precious limited time investigating this dead end lead anyway. Milhar. At least you did your due diligence, detective. Starting to sound just like Elena, and I don't like it one bit, especially when you're right. I mean, I don't know what more you want from me. I miss Peter. I never thought I would say that, but I miss Peter, y'all. Peter has been gone for so long. The game really has not been the same without him. I don't know where that dude's at. Hopefully he's not, you know. Hopefully nothing too crazy is going on. Alright. So, very, very good. She is not on the list anymore. So, this all leads down to that. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've figured out. But I still don't know who was the anonymous tip. I don't like that. I still don't know who Gale de Winter is. Maybe we'll find out more information. I don't want to just go ahead and be like, oh, well, he did it to himself. Because I need to know, who the hell is Gale de Winter? I'm surprised these three are sitting at a table together. Hey, you wanna talk? No good son of a gun. I know I'm insulting him, but like, seriously? Who literally is like, oh yeah, I mean, if Olivia wouldn't have said all that years ago, then like, you probably would have still been working. Well, not that he said it like that, but he might as well have. Okay, let's talk about... Yeah, please tell me. Very well, you've been the most gracious host, enough to be given the trust from a patriotic Sullivan family, I would say. Lawrence looks around to check that nobody's eavesdropping, carefully leans in closer and whispers. Would you believe me if I said it? I knew it was Effia, bro! Okay. I'm assuming stagehand. Really? After she performed in Crossing, she abandoned her acting career to pursue her writing. Good for her, suits her much better. She must have been guided by the light of the goddess herself, because she has talent as a writer. She never possessed it as an actor. Providence guided her into this new path of success. Took a few pen names before she finally found one that stuck. You know, the old Bakovi saying, sometimes you change so much that your old name doesn't fit you anymore. In the end, Gale de Winter was the name that fit her best. And Gale de Winter has become the writer of my dreams while dalliance with wondrous ideas she came up with. Putting the actors through so much drama and peril, she really put them through the ringer. But hush hush, my friend. You're in the know-how now. You're in the know now, but let me be clear. If this information comes out, I'll know it was you who leaked it. My lips are not sealed. My lips are not sealed. It was a wonderful play about tragedy and melancholy and tour de force. Star inside Billy. Not the living established for the stars of my first play, Crossing. In some ways, Dallas was the second part of that story. Though not linked by plot or character, the two plays were thematic siblings. And since Dallas closed the loop that began with Crossing. What are your plays about? Life, death, and everything in between. Though I don't write the stories, Dallas was written by Gale de Winter. Although the script is important, it is the director and the producer who want the words to... who bring the words to life and create the magic. You can think of the script as the rails we ride on. Meanwhile, as producer and director, I both construct the locomotive and pilot it to where it needs to go. That's quite the metaphor. Glad to help you peek behind the curtain and explain how the magic is made. Thank you, I guess. Can I tell you some stuff? How many do I have? 3? Okay. I only have 3 left, so... Oh, I do hope you're not spreading this rumor around like wildfire, friend. Tell me in confidence it was not... And you, it was not misplaced. My lips are sealed. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Here. Oh, it certainly is a fantastical tale. Feud between former lovers, a diabolical scheme, a dramatic twist of fate at the last minute. Gil couldn't have written it better than that. I'm being serious! I'm sure you are. It doesn't mean I have to take it seriously. And frankly, I don't intend to. I hate him. I hate him so much. I'm not gonna lie. Olivia was the true target of this vile scheme? Goddess, and here I thought this awful situation could not get any worse. Why would anyone want to target someone like Olivia Carmine? Surely she didn't have any enemies. That remains to be seen. Okay. Should I confront her about being Gale de Winter? I had a feeling it was her. I really had a feeling it was her, and I'm glad I was right. He reminds me of Wendy. I know, and I hate it, Wendy, bro. I hate it, Wendy. I also hate the fact that she got away. Gale de Winter. You're Gale de Winter, aren't you? I don't want to just confront her. She already doesn't like me a whole lot as it is. It seems like sound reasoning. Are you playing amateur detective? Just curious. Can't blame you for that. But I can blame you for prying into people's private affairs, so don't. Understood. I really feel like it was her, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Because who the hell else is gonna, quote-unquote, anonymously tip off that he was seeing somebody? Acting? Oh, that's a window into my past. Might not look at it these days, but yes, I was once an actor. That life didn't fit me. I'm quite petite enough, not quite demure enough, not quite discreet enough. I never had quite the right look for the casting directors. Funny that. I didn't get my breakthrough, though. I always picked up enough work to keep the dream alive. Barely. What happened? What little hope I did have of getting a leading role was snuffed out when I did the stupidest thing a woman like me could do. What was that? I tried to help someone. Stavros was pursuing me romantically while dating Olivia! In my naivete, I thought his desperate, wretched advances would be shameful when brought into light. It didn't work out? No, men like him don't feel shame. The system protects them, so they never have to feel anything at all. This time the system was represented by one Lawrence Sullivan IV. I came to Lawrence in confidence and told him about Stavros' behaved fast and very effective. But Lawrence at the time seemed cruel and personal, but now I understand things a little better. See his actions for what they really were. What were they? The predictable outcome of challenging power, and the power to create wealth when you have none. Stavros held the power and brought in the money. All I had to do was show some nerve and a sense of justice. The system doesn't care about that. You get rolled over, crushed. The next day I was locked out of rehearsals. The items from my locker were in a box in the garbage. Everyone walked right past me. It was like I was a stranger to people I'd known for years. They had all been warned to stay away from me. And just like that, I was on the cold. Lawrence fired me to protect Stavros, and my acting career was over. It's awful. It's the past. That's why I changed careers and I found my own way. And that's why I started the Melodic Wire, too. That's a whole other discussion. Oh my god. So it might have been Lawrence, bro. Wait, is she a suspect now? Oh my god, she is a suspect now. it would have been Lawrence. Okay. She was not fond of that. What have you done? What do you mean, what have I done? My thing is that she was dating... Oh my god. My question is, what did Lawrence do too? He's established as a suspect too. Certainly an attractive option. How so? A crime where none of our friends and co-workers turn out to be murderers, and the true culprit is neutralized by his own evil scheme. You better make sure it really isn't too good to be true before you go lobbing accusations at a dead man. I will. You know what? The detectives are listening to everything. They aren't. They aren't doing shit. You think he offed himself? You believe Stavros was the one with evil intent all along, but why? Why would he do such a thing? He was blacklisted after Olivia told a producer he'd cheated on her. See, so he couldn't handle the consequences of his own actions. The man really was a swine to the very end. Wonder how differently things would have gone if it had been my word that led to his downfall. If someone had listened to me when I told them exactly what he was, would I have been his intended victim? He always would have blamed anyone but himself. It's better not to... Bro. Because that don't make no sense to me. What do you mean that... Effie told Lawrence about... about Stavros cheating on her, or was seeing both her and Olivia, and he fired her. Like, that's weird. Oh, that's a shame. Just as an unexpected skill rendered him a bit more interesting, he had to ruin it all by being a maniac. So, you think I'm right? See no reason why you wouldn't be. There were oil and water, but more bitter. Oil and vinegar? The goddess must be looking out for Olivia. Almost makes you consider attending church, though if I stepped over the threshold, I'd burst into flames. Oh my gosh, he is too funny. Seriously. So I suppose that may have tipped him over the edge, yes. Still, one wonders how Stavros ended up in this predicament if he was the one with murderous intent. Last I checked, Olivia wasn't the victim. I'm sure there's an explanation. I do want to let you know that, I have 3 things left, so, what's her name? Stood up for you? Question mark. Olivia Carmen is a decent person somewhere under that blonde, bejeweled facade. She is just endlessly grating to work with. Her offer was a kindness, but seemed a mercy for the both of us that our paths diverged. Wish her nothing but luck in her future, and hopefully a prop master with stronger nerves than mine. I'm so glad they worked everything out. Considering this is supposed to be a well-kept secret, I really can't fathom why you saw it appropriate to tell me. I didn't expect such discretion from the likes of Lawrence. But I would have thought you would hold people's privacy in higher regard. Are we not having this conversation within the nightcap? Your secret? Good point. Oh well. I got to try to protect the talent. Where have I heard that before? And I thought Stavros was a good egg, or at least a surprisingly class-conscious egg. Just goes to show you can never trust someone with the right thing. To do the right thing in this industry when actors and their egos are involved. Sometimes I think I should have become an accountant. Or an undertaker. Never sure. Okay. I got one more. Oh, it's just gonna piss him off though. Let's just ask him a regular question. There's something in film. The local scene is small, but supposedly quite promising. In truth, though, I've been thinking about moving away from the performing arts entirely. What would you like to do? Something in advertising, perhaps. Model makers are surprisingly in demand in Bakobi. There'd be a lot less cleaning up after entitled divas, and a lot more doing my job. Fortunately, most model makers come with photography skills, or a photography partner at least. Unfortunately, I currently possess neither. If I ever do meet a talented photographer, or one to become one, I may yet consider it for the sake of my own sanity. Good luck. I left him in a bad mood, but you know what? It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. I don't want her to be in a bad mood. Should I tell Olivia that Effia is Gale de Winter? Haven't I? Listen up a little bit, I can tell you about it. You know, there are a valuable lesson from each career path I've followed. I'll share my lessons with you if you like, but perhaps just one. I don't believe in spilling all my secrets, you know. Just tell me, which lesson do you want to know about? What I learned from acting in the opera, singing in the church choir, or my radio show? Opera. Life is a show. We all have 3 masks to wear, but those who perform on stage have a 4th. Wear the masks. We have 1 mask we wear when we go out in the world. A store, in church, on the stagecoach, at the market, our public face, respectable and obedient. Our 2nd mask is the personality we wear with our family. We slip that mask back on every time we go home for our family dinner, when our mother calls us on the telephoning machine, or when we meet our sourly aunt at the post office. There's a mask we often think we no longer wear, but we often find ourselves falling into our old ways when amongst our closest friends. And finally, we have the mask we wear when we are home alone. Or with our chosen partner behind closed doors. Perhaps it's not a mask at all, or so we tell ourselves. But actors know the truth, for they wear a 4th mask, or a 5th, a 6th, and because they wear so many, they know that all the masks are real. Our true nature is not the masks we wear, but in the part of ourselves that chooses when we change masks. Does that make sense to you? Or perhaps I lost you somewhere? I think I get it. Alright. I have a lot of things to tell you about. God, there's so many. And I only have 4. Didn't she answer this already? Killing here is quite adorable, isn't he? Painfully uncultured and duller than a book of stamps, of course. But he still spent his last penny on tickets just to see me perform. His parents' penny. Let me tell you, darling, there's nothing quite like the attentions of a handsome young fool to make a lady feel young. So stupid. Let's talk about this. We're not going to tell her about Gil, whatchamacallit. Effia tried to murder Stavros? Darling, what are you on about? Doesn't that make sense? Perhaps if you know nothing of the people involved, you might think this math theory holds water. But as someone who considers herself to be very close to Effia, despite her sometimes cold attitude, I'm offended on her behalf. I won't deny Effia held a grudge against Stavros during the production of Crossing. His unwanted advances ground down her patience and goodwill and made her feel uncomfortable, unsafe even. She made the right choice and turned to the one person that could protect her. Lawrence. That's what she thought. But that's not how show business works. Sadly, Stavros was the talent, so Effia's position was untenable. You. Precisely. It must not have been easy. I think she was afraid I'd see her as the reason our relationship failed, not Stavros. Effia slipped an anonymous letter with all the details underneath my door while I was having my makeup done. It was quite tactful of her to try and inform me in such a fashion, but I'm afraid I've seen her elaborate handwriting far too often. I broke things off with Stavros, informed my producer I was no longer comfortable working with him, and decided to move on with my life. Sad to say, there was little I could do for Effia to repay her at the time. She had already moved on to her career as a writer by the time I could get rid of Lawrence. So I gladly paid that debt today, telling you that Effia would never plan elaborate plot for revenge if it might threaten my safety too. It's a bleak world out there when it comes to troublesome men, and she and I will always keep an eye out for each other, even if we don't do so openly. Lucky to have each other. Okay, so she's been exonerated. Like, she was exonerated, like, immediately. Immediately. I do want to tell you that, yeah, he exonerated you. Well, there you have it. Vindication at last. Surely the verdict of a professional is enough to put even your fanciful theories to bed, Absolutely. Splendid. I'll say Reese may be a dour little shrew, but a shrew with principles. I'm glad y'all looked out for each other, like, for real. I don't really... So why did you take the prop home? Was it really just by accident? I just knew they'd bring that up. Honestly, the ego on that one. Always giving me attitude with hundreds of pages of script to memorize, multiple costume changes to pull off mid-performance. Do they not think I have more important things to be worrying about than their little trinkets? As long as there is a prop in my hand when a scene starts and it finds its way back to the prop table sometime after it ends, that's what matters, isn't it? I don't think they see it that way. Okay. Okay, so it was him accidentally offing himself, which is really stupid, in my opinion. Hey, Elena. I want to make you a drink, though, actually. Oh. Alright, sorry. I forgot she, doesn't like to drink on the job. Can I tell you? This is a real Gato material. Well, mine, she's so much younger than I would have expected. Great work. So the writer of Dalliance is one of our suspects. Her role in the architect behind this play will certainly have given her a greater level of control over the proceedings than we originally thought. Because she made use of that? I think that might be why, Stavros did it. Sad tale, and one I certainly heard before. Too many powerful men in this industry think themselves untouchable, beyond reproach for their misdeeds. And they are continuously proven right by directors and producers that shield them from the consequences of their actions. Not in this case, I suppose. It would certainly be understandable for Miss DeVos to hold a grudge over the impact Stavros' actions had on her career, but isn't it enough to commit murder? She found her own path to success in the end. You may want to run this by one that knew her well, then and now. Well, luckily I did that. Like, literally. Well, color me surprised. Considering Olivia is a person of interest in our investigation, it doesn't benefit her to help another suspect. I believe we can take her word for it. This plot could not only have injured Olivia, but it was also a deeply traumatizing thing to inflict upon a woman you consider a friend, and whose well-being you've clearly always held in high regard. Yeah, I should get back to work. Something about this kind of bugs me. Hello? I have 3 new things here. Fia, the stagehand? Yes. She got hidden talent. What does that matter? I know how to juggle. Doesn't make me suspicious, does it? We already knew she was involved in production. I don't see how this changes anything. I'll keep digging. Can I see you juggle? I need to stop running my mouth around you. I thought I told you not to go digging into my case, and yet here you are presenting me with an entire tragic backstory. It's another theory down the drain, but it doesn't make sense. It takes a seriously twisted mind to be okay with that kind of collateral damage. My experience, revenge is usually more targeted than that. Okay, well... Because I need to know how the blades got switched. Because if Stavros took it home, modified it, brought it back, how did it end up in Olivia's pocket? That's what I need to know. Scripted demise. Effie has specifically created scenes in Dalliance where the characters placed by Olivia and Stavros die, because she orchestrated these events to allow her to commit murder. Oh, I wasn't thinking of that. What the hell? I didn't do that for that. Jesus. I'm so glad. I am very glad that they have each other as friends. Her motive. Where's the anonymous tip thing right here? Seriously? I know it kind of goes nowhere. Stavros really was a scumbag. Yeah, I don't get it. I just can't believe Effia was a suspect. That's kind of crazy to me. I'm actually quite hungry. I'm trying to think of what I want for dinner. I already know like what my entree is going to be, but I don't know what I want to go with it. I kind of wish I had like mac and cheese to eat. Technically there is some in there, I just don't feel like cooking it. Yeah, I'm gonna save it and we're gonna keep going. I know. 11 days. Okay. Oh, hold on. Conversation. Let's eavesdrop. Effia, do you prefer another name now? Effia's fine. What a wild journey we have been on, Not just throughout this last turbulent week. It's been an experience, alright. But we ended up exactly where we should be, I think. Do you agree? Well, in the end, I suppose. But the journey wasn't easy. No, I'm aware of everything you've been through, and I want you to know that I've always respected you. I didn't make choices lightly, but if I had to do it all over again, I can't say I'd do anything different. Nor would I, and I respect you too, Olivia. Do you know the story of the wolf, fox, and the... Oh my god, it's so bad right now. No, I wanted to continue. No, I'll be happy once we don't have this internet anymore. For y'all who missed the story, we don't know what happened to the fox. The fox was just gone and whatever. So. Okay, I need to talk to you about a lot of things. Come on now, you're not expecting me to believe that sort of nonsense. I'm sure Miss DeVos is a perfectly fine young woman, maybe even a talented writer. Gail De Winter, she is not. There are certain complexities in language and delicate nuances in their view of upper-class life that's simply not achievable for someone of Effie's background. It's true, he told me himself. Maybe he's going to see now. It certainly makes more sense to me than the alternative. I hate Vincent, y'all. I hate him so much. Surely an actor going near a pop table is not. Olivia knows Reese better than we do. She's not really so bad. If you say so. Miss Carmine is usually a good judge of character, I suppose. Who am I to question her? But I was too hasty with my own judgment, perhaps. So they've done the decent thing and stood up for Miss Carmine, have they? Good. Should not have needed to. Shame on you for even considering her suspect. Sorry. Miss Carmine, always so graceful and understanding. Why would anyone want to hurt her? Vincent is just always so useless to me. Always. I want to make him his favorite. Alright, I need to tell you about Blacklisted. I'm a bit slow. Of course, you don't know anything. No, you can't honestly believe that. Why would anyone want to harm her? Perhaps they were envious of her success. She can't be rich, blonde, and beautiful anymore in this day and age without someone begrudging you for it. Okay. You're saying Stavros wanted to hurt Olivia? If that's true, I'd say he got exactly what he deserved. I can't believe I nearly saved his life. Yeah. I don't even have to think about it now. Get him pretty drunk. There are two women working together in the theater who don't wish death on each other, and that's after production. In our world, it's what someone would call besties, so they're actually friends. To my knowledge, yes, she has the patience of a saint, if you ask me. I'm sure what kind of topics to discuss. Okay. That sums it up, yes. Absolutely not. We're not close, but Effia is one of the more sane people I know in this line of work, which I realize isn't saying much. Trust me, she isn't the type of person. Okay. Yes, there's nothing left to do but talk about that. Look at my expression. Do I look like I know what you're talking about? Alright, let's talk about a regular question. How's the job hunting going? Currently a bit too intoxicated to discuss my career. Until that Reese is being careful not to share too much in their current state. Giving them merely tipsy might catch them off guard. Drink some water when you go home. Okay. Elena. Interesting, so you believe Miss DeVos or dalliance to give herself a perfect framework for a murder without getting her own hands dirty, all the while being protected from suspicion by the anonymity created by her alias. Sounds like a plot straight out of a crime novel. It's so ludicrous that on any other day I'd dismiss it out of hand, but of course this is a writer we're talking about. Miss DeVos have a flair for the dramatic like this? I didn't get that impression, but then it looks to be deceiving. That's it. Yes, I'll get back to work. I do need to talk to her. You gotta narrow some stuff down for me. Like, I know we haven't spoken a lot, but like... You mentioned the melodic wire. Lawrence said you were once in the crossing. Yeah, wait, I need more things. Yeah, sorry. So stupid. Yes, that's what I said. I hate it when she's like, yeah, that's what I said. Interesting. I imagine it'd take a dab hand to do so under Reese Kenred's watchful eye. You don't believe it could have been him? No, I don't. I see. Unlikely. Care to elaborate? That's the Olivia we're talking about. I don't think it really needs any elaboration, does it? Suppose not. I only have one left. Let's talk to her. Mention the melodic wire. Mention the melodic wire. So I did, so I guess she seemed trustworthy to me. Don't prove me wrong. I won't. Melodic Wire is a whisper network I set up to protect vulnerable people who work in the theater and creative industries. How does it work? I put out a newsletter once a month. It's for vulnerable people who need to know who to avoid and how to handle dangerous people in the industry. Who are the vulnerable people? A lot of women, but not only women. Anyone without power of authority or might be targeted. Power or authority who might be targeted. Is it working? I think so. I get letters from people telling me the newsletter helped them avoid abuse, and sometimes messages from people saying they wish they'd read it sooner. Sounds worthwhile. Thank you. Though I wonder if I'm still the right person to run it. Forget us anything, okay? This is between us. Okay. Say less. Oh my god, this is unstable. Okay, we're trying this again. I disconnected my phone at first, thinking that would help. But at this rate, I don't think anything's really gonna help much. I don't even get what makes it drop. Like, sure, we have a lot of devices connected, but like half of them I have blocked currently. So like, I don't know. I think I'll just make the drink for her, and then I might end the stream. Like, I truly don't know what makes it just die out of nowhere. like all the TVs are disconnected. I really don't know, y'all. I'm just over it. We'll try to do like these clues and then end the stream after that. Be absurd. No. In what world would a woman like me police or that sort of thing? I'll admit that neurotic little detective you're always getting cozy with does not inspire the greatest confidence in law enforcement. Rest assured, if someone threatened my life, I wouldn't be taking matters into my own hands. Besides, how would I even do so? I'd hardly need a prop master if I was as resourceful as you seem to think I am. Yes, that's correct. Of course, I was busy getting changed and touching my makeup during intermission. I'm always sweating like a sinner in church under those stage lights, but I didn't see Stavros at any point until the show started. Blacklisted. I didn't keep up with Stavros' career to notice his absence from the stage, but now you mention it. Certainly as the industry is quite becomes tarnished in their eyes. Very well could be the end. Could have caused it, haven't the foggiest. Consequences will say he likely deserved it. Okay. Suspect. You're labeling me as a suspect? What gives you the right? Come to you for a distraction for a bit of solace. Sorry, that was out of line. Yeah, I'm glad you at least have the decency to apologize. Don't think I don't know you. I remember how you pursued the killer of that Dragos girl. I remember looking in your eyes the same way you have now. I judge you for that. In fact, I believe we're kindred spirits. I think I read this the last stream. Flattery metaphor. In any case, I know you intend to unravel the mystery. Not go around lobbing around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read all that. Some people change Stavros is just about the last person willingly break a sweat. I wonder so adamantly about separating work and his private life. It's not exactly glamorous. And here I thought it was because of, well, never mind. Because of? Just something in the distant past. It's not important now. Say so. Yeah, I suppose she was always scribbling in that love notebook of hers, not to mention the clandestine little meetings with Lawrence. I suppose I did have a hunch in retrospect. I imagine you'll find this terribly rich coming from me of all people, but you must keep this to yourself. Sure you had a reason. Her reasons. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna just pause. I'm gonna pause here and end the stream here, because I already have enough combining. I was just gonna freaking take now with splitting this up into 3 parts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch my streams. It's supposed to be storming today. Yeah, it hasn't rained at all though. It's weird. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch my streams. If you missed... Oh, come on, not again. Alright, anyways, I will see y'all in the next session, okay? With session 7. Y'all be safe. Eat something good. Annyeong.